Have you decided to buy a semi or fully detached house, but you're not sure whether to buy a newer or an older home? First impressions can be lasting, but they aren't always a good way to choose which home to buy. The aesthetics of a newer home and older homes are very different, and so is the way that they allocate space. While there are many key differences between newer and older homes, in this video, I'll take you through some of the most important ones, and because there are so many, I'll dive into other considerations in future videos. For clarity, let's make the dividing line between newer and older the year 1990. Aesthetics shape our perspectives. Newer homes tend to be more aesthetically pleasing to the masses, especially if they're brand new and in style. They're usually built with newer components, think along the lines of energy efficient furnaces and more effective insulation, and also tend to have a bit of a wow factor. Because of all these things, they're often more expensive, but they can also end up looking like every other home on the block. While it feels like new homes are being built in the blink of an eye these days, most homes in Hamilton were actually still built before 1990. This means that there's a greater supply of older homes, and when combined with the fact that they likely have older components, they're generally more affordable and can be a great option if you're just starting out. If this appeals to you, just make sure that you have some money set aside in case any of these functional components decide to conk out or need repair. On that note, there can be a lot of potential to earn some sweat equity if you don't mind getting a little messy. I love how there's more flexibility to express your unique creativity since your starting point isn't the same as everyone else's. If you're lucky, your home may have some standout details and craftsmanship that more modern homes can only ever hope to emulate. Having said this, a word of caution when looking at older homes that have recently undergone big renovations. Some buyers can justify the price because they look and feel new, but keep in mind, these changes can be mostly cosmetic, and trends tend to fall out of style, usually within the decade. So like with any home, but especially when you buy a newly renovated home, have a professional check out the functional components to gain more peace of mind that any changes were done properly. There are so many people out there who have bought a beautifully renovated home only to have to tear it apart to fix a structural or water concern. Educate yourself and please don't end up in that category. Now let's talk about space allocation and efficiency. Newer homes tend to glamorize interior space, so basically bigger homes on smaller lots with neighboring houses that tend to be really close together, and there's usually not a lot of parking on the street either. They generally have larger rooms, particularly kitchens, bedrooms, and bathrooms, and also more of them, meaning more space per person. But that also means more space to clean, maintain, renovate, heat, cool, or accumulate things that you do or maybe you don't actually need. They usually have a more pronounced open concept interior, which can really come in handy for entertaining or keeping an eye on young kids. They also often have an attached garage, which can be pretty nice, especially in the winter. Older homes, while small, can pack a big punch by fitting the essentials into a smaller indoor space, making room on the typically larger lot for a bigger yard. This can be a huge feature because it gives you more privacy and allows the house to be able to grow with you and your family if needed. Also, a closed concept interior makes for fewer disturbances when there are multiple people in the house, and a smaller kitchen makes for a really efficient prep space. Be honest with yourself about how often you really entertain, the typical size of meals that you make, and how much you value your quiet. I could stand on my soapbox and wax poetic about the differences between newer and older homes all day long. I love discussing homes and everything about them and empowering you to move toward the life that you're really after, whatever that may look like for you. If you're still not sure which way you lean, newer or older, check out some of my other videos or just get in touch.